All right, welcome to CAPECAST. Hey, Alan, how's it going?
Alan.
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Just you and I tonight. If you haven't noticed, Ryan is absent. He's abandoning. This is just par for the course when it comes to Ryan. I guess this is just the season of Ryan being absent on CAPECAST and CiNEMACHiNE because of sports. So we wish him well in whoever he's rooting for. I assume it's the Braves. Maybe it's the Dodgers. Who knows? We'll just say go Dodgers, just to kind of go against the grain. Even though you have a Atlanta Braves hat on, I see. So
yeah,
maybe
I'm not gonna say go. I'm gonna say go Dodgers, but
But you're not watching it. You're a Braves fan.
No,
you're here.
I'm not.
You showed up. You're committed. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Comics and comic talk takes precedence over sports any day of the week.
Well, I agree with you. But yeah, I appreciate you joining me because there's lots to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Unlike a few other nights previously, we had like very slim docs when it came to news. So we were just having to find the most obscure random stuff to talk about. But tonight, it's a little different. And we'll get into that in a minute. But before we do, let's see if I can get this graphic. Like I said, we're CAPECAST. We're part of the CiNEMACHiNE network. Check us out. CAPECAST specifically on Twitter at CAPECAST Show. And then you can find everything else at CiNEMACHiNEPod.com, including links for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, all that jazz. So yeah, do that. Check us out. Leave some comments. Hit the like button on this video. Hit the bell so you know when we're going. You know, all that stuff. Smash that subscribe button. All the stuff that the cool kids say. And I'm not one of those, so I would never say that. Anyway, Alan, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good.
I got to see you kind of this weekend.
Yeah. Went to a concert.
Yeah. How was it?
Dude, you guys killed it. Per the usual. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
I wish you would have been oh, it was terrible. You were awful.
Sang my heart out to every song you guys belted out.
I appreciate you. So, I was very sad that because usually we take breaks and we get to kind of mingle, but that show we just played straight through for 2+ hours. So
well, I know that's what I was thinking. I told Mandy, I was like, well, we'll get to talk to everybody here in a little while. And then I was like, oh man, it was time to go to the art show. And I was like, well, I guess I won't get to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I apologize for that. I hated that you guys had to bail before we got done.
Yeah, it was all good. So. It worked out actually. I'll talk about it later. Some physical media, some stuff I bought at the art show. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I'm interested. I saw some pictures from the event. Looked really cool. I'm sure you'll get into that, what it was all about later. But sweet. Well, because we have so much to talk about, let's go ahead and get into it. Right. For those of you that aren't aware, DC Fandome was Saturday. Now, I'm going to probably rely a little bit on you on a few things because I had to leave early to get set up for my show. So I didn't get to catch a lot of it. I caught videos, but a lot of the panels that didn't have videos, actual trailers or, clips or whatever.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes stuff. I didn't check out. So if I'm missing anything, you jump right in and let me know. So we got comments. See, here's the thing. I've never run comments. And so now I'm already behind. I'm sorry. What's up, Basement Blues? Then, yeah, CAPECAST. Hey, Brandon and Alan. So I'm not going to go through all these, but appreciate you guys coming through because I'm 14 comments behind. But yeah, we got Nani in the house. As always, what's up? But yeah, please comment. I'll do my best to moderate them. I need to give you some privileges, Alan, so you can you can help out with some of this.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be much better, but
But yeah. So anyway, what were we saying? DC Fandome. It was Saturday, so I think I caught about 2 hours of the actual like consistent panels, and then I had to bail. But let's just do this first. What was your overall feelings of DC fandom, just in general?
There were some things in there that had me like super pumped, and then there were some things in there that I was like, oh dear God, like what is happening here, so it was a roller coaster of emotions for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I caught about 2 hours of it. Ryan and I were I think we were all texting back and forth about stuff that was dropping, and I think on the whole it was, and we'll get into it, but I felt like it had some ups, but for me a lot of it was filler. A lot of it, I mean, thankfully though, it was only like 4 hours, so they kind of condensed. Like last year it was like an all-day thing. And obviously last year our hype level was a lot different because we had the first trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out. So, who's this guy? Thought you were sick.
Hey, it's Al.
He's not sick anymore. Drop it in our comments. But yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, ups and downs, but we'll get into it. Overall, it didn't feel as like impactful as it did last year, and maybe that's personal bias. I don't know. I just didn't. My takeaways were not as high. I mean, they really only had one, as far as movies, I guess, one trailer. The rest of them they were labeled as like clips. I mean, the Flash trailer was kind of a teaser. He said it wasn't. He said they didn't have a clip or a teaser or anything, but I mean it was a teaser. Of course we have video game stuff, and we'll get into that stuff as well. But overall, I thought there were some shining moments, but I kind of feel like they didn't have a lot to show. It was all just a lot of talking.
That's what I that was exactly what I was going to say. Was I just felt like it was a lot of talking about what was going to happen, and not a lot of talking, no showy.
And for some of these projects that have been like long gestating, it's like if you're gonna like, they don't owe us anything, but if you're gonna like put on this big show, it's like you better deliver.
There was a lot of build up for some really small clips, like especially like The Rock. He's been working on Black Adam for what, 10 years now almost.
I know 10 years. Al doesn't know anything that's coming out in DC. Well, stay tuned. We'll fill you in.
That's what the show's about.
Some insight on that. But all right, let's get on with the show. I think I've got this set up correctly. Again, juggling. Apologies. Blame Ryan. All right, here we go. All right, so first thing, we're kind of hit these in chronological order for the most part, as far as how they kind of landed on the panels. Al said he's going to watch Niagara. I don't know what that is. I'm sure it's something very slow and black and white and 4:3 and depressing, but you enjoy it. You be you. So yeah, Black Adam. This was another one of those, like, they kind of showed a lot of that kind of like motion comic art, like not necessarily fully animated, stuff like they did last year. And once again, Dwayne Johnson's claiming that the powerarchy of the DC universe is about to change, or whatever he says.
He's really harping on that.
Yeah. What do you think about the footage that they showed? As far as I know, so we had a little bit of a back and forth about this, and it seemed like I was the one that was kind of like not necessarily down on it. I was just, here's my gripe about this. Because of the other types of movies that I associate with The Rock, I have a hard time taking him seriously. And this role seems like it's a role I should take him seriously in. Now this clip or tease or whatever it is it doesn't. There's not a lot there in terms of like, it's more tone than anything, I guess. But I still felt like when they would cut to him, I was waiting for like the SNL like record scratch.
The eyebrow.
Exactly, like something like that from The Rock. And that's probably something that I'm just gonna have to get over, or get past. And and honestly, like the movie itself will probably be its own thing. Hey, what's up, John? Yeah, John's kind of saying the same thing that
for sure.
we were saying.
Sure.
So yeah, I agree. But so anyway, I'm gonna have to get past that. And depending on the structure of the film itself, and kind of just it's gonna be one of those things where hopefully it works out better for me as a viewer than it did with this trailer, because I just felt like I liked the tone. I liked I felt the tease itself was kind of choppy. It felt like there was some stuff missing, as far as it kind of did a bunch of like jump cuts. Like it felt like there was stuff in between these little cuts that should have been there that they cut.
Yeah.
Maybe that's for they don't have the effects done or whatever it is. But I thought the little brief glimpse that we got was cool, but just like, okay, I mean, I know that you were a lot higher on it than I was. But yeah, I haven't let you say what you want to say, so I'm gonna let you do that.
Well, I mean, like you said, there wasn't much there as far as the clip that they showed. It was definitely the tone that we like. It seemed like a Snyder tone, to it, which is awesome. But for me, honestly, the reason I'm as high on it as I am is because of the amount of passion and the amount of work that he's put in to just even make this movie even happen. You know what I mean? So I tend to enjoy them more when I know that the people that are in them are vested, so I think that's why I'll enjoy it a little more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for them just recently filming, as far as finishing production, and it being, I would assume it being very effects driven. Like last year, the Batman had only shot like 25% of the movie, and they had a full trailer that was great. It's very fleshed out. They called it a teaser, but it was a full trailer. But that's a movie that's very grounded in camera stuff, not a lot of effects heavy stuff. So they were able to put that out a little easier and say this one. So I get it. I'm not like faulting them, but it felt very, it felt brief. And like I said, it just felt kind of chopped together. Because you've got these like the SWAT team or whatever, and they're all taking fire. And and I think Britt mentioned this, instead of like there being like a moment of him deflecting hundreds of bullets, it's just like a cut to like one bullet him holding, and like it just felt like there was something missing in between there. And I'm sure there is. I'm sure when we see the movie it'll be different.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm pretty like middle of the road on it. I like the tone. So the researcher, whoever's looking for Black Adam, she opens the tomb or whatever it is. She says Shazam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that obviously that's like, he's like, they tease him. I don't know a ton about this character. I know that you and Ryan are a little bit more into it, but I know that they tease him in Shazam. They had that little hologram thing when the wizard's like showing the history. And I know a little bit about Kondak and that kind of stuff, but my comic, I'm a movie guy, if you haven't gathered that. So my comic history is not as in depth as you and Ryan, but no, I thought overall it was a cool little glimpse, and I am excited to see what they do with it, because they're pushing a lot of like, you've never seen superhero movies like this. We're using tech that no one else has used, period, and filmmaking and that kind of thing. So was like Nani and Al are just they're having their own little discussion in the comments.
Yeah.
Get a room, guys.
I don't even know what you guys are
Niagara
talking
together.
Whatever that is.
I'm
just playing, guys.
Well, hang out in the comments all you want. You don't have to pay attention.
That's right.
You talk about Niagara or whatever you want to talk about. That's fine. We appreciate you being here.
Keep the views up. There we go.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Next thing on the list, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Again, this is another one of those, like, we're going to do kind of a behind the scenes, like production type diary type thing. This photo wasn't revealed at DC Fandom. Juan revealed this on Instagram after the fact, I believe. But I'm digging the new Black Manta costume. I like the last one.
Yeah.
I like the last one too, but I think I don't know. I might like this one more. I have to see it in motion, but I do dig it. I mean, the last one was kind of like the story element in the last one, that it was like Atlantean tech that he like painted. So I'm assuming there's an evolution to this one as well. But yeah, I mean, we got glimpses of like I said, Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard. I think was Dolph featured. I can't remember. I think he was. But
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
This one I was kind of in and out. We were preparing to go to Hartwell and see you guys play, so I was kind of in and out on this one as well.
Gotcha.
So, if Mandy was up here, she could tell you everything. If Jason Momoa was on the screen, she's not taking her eyes off of it. So
yeah, Mason Blues is saying that Black Adam's a little overhyped, which it's definitely. I mean, I would agree, kind of overhyped. It seems like Nani's excited for Aquaman though, big time. Excited for Aquaman. And yeah, the Jason Momoa thing, it's kind of similarly for Black Adam. I mean, they're both. We talk about like movies that, including talent that has essentially big followings, social media presence. The Rock is like one of the biggest.
I think he is. I think he broke the Instagram record or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very tactical thing of including him. Not that he doesn't fit the part. I think he does.
Yeah.
Again, my own hangups are my own as far as acting is concerned. But that's just my association with his other movies. Anyway, we're not on Black Adam anymore. We're on Aquaman. Thanks for derailing us, Nani. Actually, no, it was Basement Blues. Sorry, Nani. I apologize. The Aquaman 2. Yeah, we saw glimpses of Orm and Arthur frolicking in the ocean. I'm sure there's going to be a Pitbull song attached to that this time.
As long as they're not butchering Toto again, I don't care what song he does.
Yeah. Oh, man. So many ups and downs for me with that movie, because I really do enjoy it overall. And we've talked about this before. Yeah. I just have like some eye roll, like why even do? I don't know.
Yeah.
But made $1 billion. What do I know?
So it was my number 5 until the Suicide Squad, and so the Suicide Squad jumped it. So yeah, right behind Zach's movies and Wonder Woman, Aquaman was it. Like I really enjoyed it. I mean, like you said, there were a few goofy things in there that they could have done without, but I thought overall it was a pretty solid
it's
movie.
Just one of those things where, I mean, we've talked about this before, I think, but some of the humor just felt punched up, like it felt like afterthought. Whereas like, and not necessarily, I don't know, like Shazam had a lot of humor, but it was natural.
Kids. Yeah.
It fit. And we'll get to Shazam in a minute. But yeah, do you have any specific? I mean, this was more of a production diary type thing, like I said, for Aquaman.
Yeah.
Do you have any expectations? It seemed like it's going to be another one of those like globetrotting type. Movies.
They're
the last one
kind of focusing on, they're going to have Aquaman, I guess, focusing on some of that, taking care of the ocean kind of thing, like kind of some of the comic source material
stuff.
So I mean, again, I feel like that's something that Momoa is extremely passionate about. So I feel like, he's really gonna put everything he's got into it. So
yeah, I mean, he's definitely, he's gonna be. He doesn't change his look too much, role to role. The Aquaman role is definitely going to be the one I think that he'll be most, known for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Depending on how this weekend goes with Dune, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. I want to see more Arthur Orm, and it seems like we're getting like a team up type narrative in this one, which is cool. I love Patrick Wilson in pretty much anything, so I am glad that he's back in this one. And so I can't, because we've talked about this for so long as far as following the production. Is there an additional villain in this movie besides Black Manta?
Not to my knowledge. They haven't actually given away all that much, the lost Kingdom. It's not the Lost Kingdom. It is Lost Kingdom. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which one of those was Jurassic Park and which one was Aquaman.
The Lost World.
But, okay. But
the Lost World, Jurassic Park,
Kingdom, Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World. There you go. Sorry.
Well, both. Yeah, Fallen Kingdom.
But but the Lost Kingdom is, I believe in the comics they were not good guys, but I may be wrong on that. So that kingdom that he finds,
I don't know. I do remember Juan teasing like an icy location. And again, was in the little, I got no comic knowledge. So
that was in the little teaser clip when it showed the title, it froze over and busted.
That's right. Yeah. So John's saying most likely Orm again. And it definitely does feel like it definitely feels like they could be going like a Loki type relationship type, arc. On again, off again, good, bad, trust, can't trust. But I like I said, I'm there for it because I love Patrick Wilson. I thought he killed it.
And if we're going, eco terrorist, it could just be they're the land dwellers. It could just be us. We're the bad guys in this one. So who knows?
Who knows? Yet to be determined. These movies are so far off.
Yeah.
So we got. Let's see. I've got a.
You got an app for that?
I do have an app for that. I need to take Suicide Squad off of this one because that countdown's already ended.
It kept rolling.
So Batman obviously is the next one. That's March 4th. But yeah, let's see. Aquaman 2 is December 16th, 2022. So over a year. Seems like forever. But it did well. It had a December date for the first one. So
it did.
Seemed like it was a good choice.
We were there. We were there. So.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say about Aquaman?
Nah, I'm good.
They showed the stealth suit a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was more in shadow. You couldn't see it super well, but we've seen the production still that they put out. Again, I think it's going to be one of those like mission-based suits. I don't think it's going to be like replacing the actual suit from the last movie. But we'll see. I still like it, but I like the other one better, personally.
Jim Lee put out a sketch on it, and he actually referred to it as a stealth suit as well. So I don't think it's
I think either Momoa or Juan had used that terminology when they posted that picture. All right, so okay, let's talk about some Flash. Are you in? Are you in? Are you in, Alan?
I am, but I will admit there were some things that I wasn't a huge fan of the suit, but I'm not sure whether it was the angle of the the screenshots that people were, blasting all over Twitter, making it look like he had the Lego Flash helmet on his head.
Right.
But all in general, and all in all, yes.
Description.
I mean, it really is. But I mean, it almost, if you look at that photo that people were spreading around, it really almost looked like a fisheye lens, almost like a security camera, maybe at the Batcave. And he's like looking into it. And that's why it looks so goofy looking.
Anani says it's hard to leave the ZSJL suit behind because it was perfect. And I agree with you. It's
she ain't lying. She ain't lying.
And I love the story behind the suit as far as its practical nature, with it being made out of these like plates from like space ships.
Yeah,
spaceships
to keep them from burning up, coming into orbit or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if the story, if what we've heard is correct, I think Bruce actually helps him build the suit. You know, so that I still think that, I mean, a lot of it's still in post-production. So even though this was a finished, you know, little clip teaser thing, it may not be finished. They may change the lighting completely and some of that. And
yeah, it's possible.
And it looked completely different. I think a lot of it was, there's a lot of really crappy shadow on that suit too. You really couldn't get a good look at it. I'd like to wait till I get the official look on it.
The way that it looked. So they have that shot of him at night with the suit's glowing, and he's walking up to what I assume is his home when he was.
I think so. Yeah.
But then the next shot is daytime when he's encountering his mom from behind. That sounded bad. Sorry.
Yeah. See, I was gonna leave that alone.
You're gonna let it go. I know. I had to go ahead and draw attention to it to make it worse. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was like what you were saying with the lens that they were using. It looked a little wonky, but again, we've got a lot of time before this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they just wrapped production this week, so they're full steam ahead with post-production at this point. And who knows if they'll have pickups. They usually do. They kind of bake that in. Yeah, this is funny. John said it's a little concerning when Shaq's steel mask looks and fits better than the Flash's new mask. That's true.
Yeah,
it's an interesting choice. So speaking of suits, let's talk about Other Barry's suit and the reveal, what we were all kind of curious about with that the Batman painted Flash suit. Are we led to believe, because I'm wondering if this Barry has powers in this alternate universe. Is he just Barry Allen with no powers? He's helping, and they give him one of Keaton's suits to wear, and he spray paints it up just to like, because Keaton's suit he's a human, so it's to protect a human, not a metahuman, and it doesn't have any, like, it wouldn't hold up. If he went to the Speed Force or did whatever, it would
the rubber would just melt. You know,
the naked Barry.
So
I'm wondering if
he pulled a Miles Morales and spray painted it, and there we go.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if that's the case, that he's just helping out because he wants to. He doesn't have any powers, and he's on this kind of a similar level.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I know a lot of people think that he's going to end up being Reverse Flash, or some sort of evil Barry.
I read those reports that was going to be the case, that Ezra Miller may be the villain of the movie as well. So
yeah,
I don't know, and
which could be cool.
It, honest to God, it really, with the exception of it being the classic Batman suit, you know, from Batman Returns, and it looks like the Batmobile and the Batcave, it really genuinely looks like
it's a good point, John.
It looks like a pretty solid Flashpoint blueprint to me. Well,
it looks like they're taking inspiration from it, but not adapting it entirely, which has kind of been the narrative with it, I think, as far as I can tell.
And I think Affleck will be similar to that storyline. Our Earth's Batman was at the beginning of the series and then comes back at the end when Barry fixes everything. So I really think that's probably going to be I think that's what's going to happen,
Alan.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Because we're going to get into a little bit of that. I hope dude, I'm preparing myself because I don't trust this company, and I know that they have ulterior motives with everything they do when it comes to this kind of stuff. They've knowingly kind of wanting to use, even when Affleck was like promoting JL, like he was talking about trying to find a way to seg out of the role, and seemingly Flashpoint was going to be the way to do that, for him to bow out and kind of be done with it. Now, the thing that gives me like a glimmer of hope is that he was done with this role, done with Batman for good. Yeah. And then ZSJL got announced, and then he got announced that he was doing this. It's like, he doesn't have to do this. And I don't know why he himself would want to return to a role just to like it. Maybe it means that much to him to be able to like
give a proper
ride off in the sunset, maybe. Yeah. But considering all the baggage that came with it for him, I'm hoping that there's a good reason that he's doing it. And it's not just, we're going to kill you off, or we're going to give you a, like, maybe not kill him off, but like say, all right, that universe is over here. Now this is the new universe going forward. I hope they're not using that as a, some sort of, way just to like do away with the Snyder stuff that they don't want to, kind of pursue anymore.
Yeah.
What makes it weird, and we'll get into this when we talk about Batgirl, but
yeah, that's where I was fixing. That's honestly where I was fixing to go. It's hard for me to think that this is the end of the road for Affleck's Batman because of the casting decision with Batgirl, like that kind of, and with the social media, story that we saw with the director of Batgirl, staring at Affleck's cowl,
it's so maddening as a fan of this that we're like, we don't know, like, for us to be so unsure if Affleck's going to be the Batman in the Batgirl movie, when it would make complete logical sense. Okay, they cast Commissioner Gordon. Well, yeah, of course they're going to have Batfleck as the Batman, because that's his Gordon. Why wouldn't they? But because of this company and because of the history of everything that's happened, it's like, we have no idea. We have absolutely no clue what they're going to do, because they're just, it's just befuddling their decisions. But let's jump to that. Actually, okay, hold on. We deserve to give a little bit of lip service to Keaton in this trailer. I don't want to jump past it. He does the narration over it. That was really cool. I did like the line where, they change the future, change the past. A little, maybe a nod to CSJL, possibly. I'm glad they didn't complete. I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to see the new suit. I'm glad that they kind of, held back there. And I thought it was cool, like seeing the original Wayne Manor again, those little nods to his Batcave, and that video that we talked about in the text thread about the kind of parallel with the switch, turn on the power and that kind of thing from his Batman. Was a cool little thing to include that I didn't catch until somebody pointed that out on Twitter. Here's the question that I have for you. The last shot of this teaser is Barry about to pull this drape that's covering something. And I think we're meant to think it's the Batmobile, but this perspective seems like something a lot smaller than a car to me. And again, this could be another camera angle thing, but
I don't know, the way that Keaton's Batmobile was shaped. It had that large front end, but it really slimmed in there towards the cockpit area.
No, I know. So it seemed almost like paperweight size. It was like, it just seemed way too small. And again,
I don't know, it could have been the cosmic treadmill. I did think about that.
I thought about that
possibility.
Too. I thought about that too.
So, because that's what it's all going to build up to. Right?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I feel like we're meant to think it's the Batmobile, but I just felt like it was way too small of an object to be the Batmobile.
Yeah,
I'll have to go look at it again, but I've watched the teaser a few times, but it just felt like whatever it is, just seems small. Now, again, it could be like a fisheye lens or something to where but he didn't seem disproportional.
Yeah. Yeah. That one didn't seem. That's what I was going to say. Just that look, the shot of his face, with his mask on, is what really, honestly, it did. It looked just like a fisheye lens to me. Like it looked like a security camera. It was too blurry for it to be, for it to be a professional production. You know what I mean? It just did not look like the camera that had filmed a lot of other things in that trailer. Yeah. So, but I could be wrong, and it may just be me trying to hold out hope, because I do love Ezra as the Flash. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I do.
And I hope that this movie does great. I hope he gets 10 more, because he's young, so he can keep doing it.
I love Ezra in Zach's cut.
Yeah.
He's exhausting in Whedon's cut.
He is. But from everything that we've seen and from a lot of the stuff that we've read, it seems like Andy really liked Zach's version, and a lot of the same people that helped with Zach with ZSJL are also helping with the production on the Flash. So I don't know. I'm holding out hope.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
And has it actually been stated that Keaton is playing that Batman? I mean, it's actually been officially said that he plays Bruce Wayne as Batman.
I would assume he would. I mean, I don't see the reason to bring him into the role without it.
I don't know if it might have just been for the nostalgia part, and still cast him as Thomas Wayne. I didn't know. I didn't know if it's actually been officially announced or not.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's a chance of that. I think he's Bruce. But I guess we'll find out, Alan. So staying in the Batverse, as we kind of alluded to this earlier, but we did have a brief tease of Batgirl. Now I didn't watch. I saw this art drop. But I wasn't. This was when I was busy and I didn't get to see any of this. But it seemed like it was only like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was really short.
I think Leslie Grace is that the actress who's playing Batgirl.
Yeah. Sure.
So I guess the things to hit on with this were that red hair in the cowl. Ryan seemed very happy about that.
Yeah. Ryan approved.
One of the only positive things Ryan messaged us about on Saturday. And what else? I know that they hired another, which this came out after, but they hired a guy that was in Bad Boys for Life, Jacob Scipio, I think. Was cast in an unspecified role. But the takeaway from that article was that they name dropped J.K. Simmons returning as Commissioner Gordon officially. Yeah. Well, because they had already reported that he was in talks. Now they kind of dropped that, which seemingly would be the headline. But
yeah.
What are you gonna do? So that brings us to the whole Batman discussion. The directors were asked who the Batman would be, and they said the Batman, or the real Batman. They always said the real Batman.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're being coy about that and saying the real Batman makes me think it's not Affleck. I know that the director posted a picture of Affleck's cowl. And listen, here's what I'm doing, Alan. I'm trying to set myself up so that I can be surprised whenever it is Batfleck, but I'm putting my expectations in check because I know this company, and I know they're going to screw me over whenever it comes to what I want. And so I'm just expecting it to be Keaton. And I should be excited for Keaton being in anything. I should be stoked that he's in The Flash. I should be, over the moon about the possibility of that. But I see the like manipulation of using it as something unintended.
Yeah, to take like it's like the shell game, it's like 3-card Monty, we're going to pull Affleck out and put in Keaton and nobody will get mad about it. Like it's a sleight of hand thing, but I don't know. I mean, I also, they were really playing it up about her having, about Leslie having the red hair and the cowl. So that got me thinking, what if he was just staring at the cowl, alluding to the fact that they were going to say that she is officially wearing a cowl? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, this is this hasn't even went into production yet, so it's coming.
She
out,
hasn't seen
I
the
would
suit.
assume, after the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's coming out on HBO Max, which is that's a different. My dog's jumping on the door trying to get in. So can you hear it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that sound anywhere. It's the same sound. Jaeger's not nearly as big as Leia, but yeah.
Give me 1 second. Talk about Batgirl. Let me go let her in before she tears my door down.
All right, we good. But no, honestly, it wasn't. I don't know what you guys thought, but I don't know. There wasn't anything there. It's so early in the process. I like the casting choice. I like that. So,
what did I miss?
and just jumped in the comments. So,
Anne's here.
Yeah.
Lowered expectations. Yeah. Well, I agree with you, Anne.
Mission accomplished.
You're right about that. Yeah, doggy's here, Nani. She, I bet somebody fired a gun or something in the distance, and she freaked out, and that's when she does that, and she's like, she's got to get in. So there she goes. All right. But yeah, she's jumping on the door upstairs. Oh man.
So Jaeger's like 13 years old, so he's not walking up the stairs to get to the attic because I'm upstairs. So he's I ain't got to worry about him scratching on the door. He's been asleep for 2 hours now, probably.
That's a good boy. But yeah, so I think what I was trying to get to was, depending on the Flash, how the table was set at the end. Because we had all these reports, years ago at this point, a year ago, I don't know, that they were setting the table for a 70-year-old Batman to be the Batman in the DCEU going forward at the end of the Flash. So I could see them doing that and having, because they also had these rumors about Keaton doing this like quote unquote Batman Beyond type story, but with Batgirl instead of Terry McGinnis.
That's
why I'm putting my expectations in check, because
if Batman can be that old, how the hell can Commissioner Gordon even still be around? Like, it doesn't make any sense,
because they bring him into this universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he merges into the time of when, the current timeline, whatever.
Dude,
bring him in.
I watch
comic books.
I watch everything that Warner Brothers puts out. But even I would have issues with that, and I have watched everything.
That doesn't bother me in terms of logistics. Like, they can make it work narratively, but you're essentially just removing Batman from your universe. Even though you're saying you have Keaton's like, he's 70 years old.
That's what I'm
saying.
What's he gonna do? What kind of Batman is that?
And that just annoys me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're going to do Batman Beyond, God, just do Terry McGinnis. Don't. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Batgirl. I'm excited about the movie, but
yeah,
let's give, let's do it the right way.
Well, they don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So
they did it last year. They did it this year with CSJL. They did it the right way. And then,
they fired those people.
Yeah.
The people that greenlit CSJL got fired like 4 months after they greenlit it. So yeah. I
don't know.
What are you gonna do? All right. Anyway. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Again, I'm hoping for the best. I hope that my my me being nervous. Yes, I said it.
Well, you got to be nervous about your damn kid.
Is all for naught. I hope that it all works out in my favor and all of our favors,
Yes.
Because I think what I want is what everybody wants. So, and if not, then it's too bad. All right. We skipped over one thing, so I'm gonna kind of reverse. We're gonna talk about Shazam.
Shazam. There we go.
Fury of the Gods. Now, Shazam's probably one outside of the Snyder centric stuff. Shazam's one of my favorite in the DCEU. Super rewatchable. It's very reminiscent of like an old school like Amblin type movie. It's super like it's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of like thrills. It's pretty scary for a superhero PG-13 movie. I love the lore. I love all the kid casting. That's something that you have to nail with a story like this. I think that the kid casting was great across the board. Yeah, so we got a little bit of behind the scenes of Shazam Fury of the Gods. Got to see Helen Mirren and Mirren. Did I say Mirren?
Yeah, you said Mira, but
Helen Mirren.
Same universe. It's okay.
Helen and Mira. She's playing Mira. They recast her with another old person. That's like WB's.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think we kind of answered our own question there with Helen playing in an action movie. I guess Keaton could do it if she's doing it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So her and Lucy Liu are the villains. Seem like they're really like kind of focusing on like the Greek element to the story.
They're really leaning into it on this one. I like that.
And there's going to be it seems like they're getting a little bit bigger budget too, because there's going to be a lot of like they're going to like Olympus and other things, other like lands that outside of Philadelphia. So yeah, it looked cool. I mean, again, it was all production stuff, but it was cool to see. It's cool to see everybody back in, because they're filming this right down the road from us. So we've reported on a few of the leaked set photos, but yeah, I think when they showed like Asher Angel, like that he's growing up a lot faster than the rest of them. Like, I think I made that joke that he's looking more like Bill Batson now. But yeah, I don't know how, because they're letting the girl that played Mary play the superhero version of Mary this go around. So I don't know how long, if they make more of these movies, like eventually there's not going to be a lot of difference in terms of maturity between the two, for the rest of the kids. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I love David Sandberg. Like I love Shazam, but I love him just as a presence and a filmmaker. He's just got like, he's very like if you don't follow him, follow him on Instagram or Twitter. He's hilarious. Also follow his YouTube channel. Like he puts out a lot of behind this, like he does a lot of like tutorials on how he create, because he has a background in visual effects. So he's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to that stuff. And if you haven't seen his breakdown of test screenings, and he basically walks through how like some of the Shazam test screenings went. And he animates it, makes it really funny. Have you seen it, Alan?
I've watched bits and pieces. I haven't sat down and watched a whole lot of it.
Well, it's really good. You should definitely check that out.
I'll check it out.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, it's a little ways off. I think it's coming out a good bit after, I can look it up, but yeah, it's after Black Adam.
Yeah.
When you download an app and you're like, I'll just use the free version instead of buying it, and then the ads continually pop up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shazam 2, June 2nd, 2023. And Black Adam is November 4th, 2022. So it's a pretty big gap. But
Yeah.
How long do you think they're going to wait until they bring those two together? Like, do you think that there will be a cameo or a tease in either one? Like, do you think that Black Adam is going to have a present day element, or you think it's all going to be? Well, I guess it does because of the guns and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I was fixing to say the tactical stuff there. It does, but I'm wondering, like, if it'll be, similar to like the cutscene ish with Venom 2, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into that part because I don't know if everybody's, heard or seen that, but I think it could be something like that with Black Adam. There's a cutscene at the end that kind of ties them in, but I still don't think that it's going to be much of an issue.
What they showed in Black Adam is the tie, like that's him.
That's when they wake him up.
Yeah.
Damn. That would actually be pretty cool. Actually, I'm good with that. So there we go.
I don't know if they would do that, but
spoilers.
Good. Because all the concept art was like Kondak, like, looked like it was like from forever ago.
They've cast members of the Justice Society, which is, more of a, an older version of the Justice League. So I don't know. I think it's going to time jump some, kind of like Wonder Woman did, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, Nani, I missed your comment, but yes, Shazam is fun.
Oh, very much so. It is in our Christmas movie list now. Like, we watch it at Christmas time.
Yeah. It's a good one. I love it. It's set at Christmas too. Mm-hmm. Any movie set at Christmas gets an extra point.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. And yeah, as far as when I feel like they have to tee up the Black Adam, like have some sort of end credits type scene with Black Adam for Shazam at least.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We shall see.
All right. It's like you said, the kids are getting older. There's only going to be so many more that they're going to be able to make with this current cast. So if they're going to put a movie with them together, they're going to have to get to it pretty quick.
Yeah. Yep. Unless they transition them into like, we're just superheroes all the time.
Yeah. There you go.
We're not kids anymore. So maybe they do that. All right, let's hit on some of the other ones. We'll save the Batman for last, since it's like the big one anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Peacemaker.
Hey,
I chose this shot intentionally.
I like that. There you go. Good job.
This is
as if I wasn't pissed off enough at my son for picking that costume.
I know. This is who your son is going to be for Halloween.
If he bends over like this, he is getting a foot in the ass. I can promise you that.
I will say, I wish I should have pulled the picture that you sent us because I can't from this computer. But we'll show it on a different episode. Yeah. But Alan's wife Mandy made a really awesome Peacemaker suit for their son. For Halloween. Yeah, he loves all the characters from this movie. You have to see it, to my knowledge. He hasn't seen it yet, right?
No, he has not seen it. Like he's got, he's got an app, and he's got a countdown. I told him, we check back when you're 14. So he's got like a 4-year calendar.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, what'd you think of this? What do you think of this trailer, Alan?
I mean, it's par for the course for the character that James Gunn built, that John Cena portrayed. I don't know. Cal and I were talking about him today. We went to the comic book store and he was dressed as Peacemaker. So we were discussing him, and I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I like John Cena. I think he's a super awesome person. Like, he does some really cool things. He goes and sees a lot of kids, for Make-A-Wish. And he's super awesome to his fans.
He can speak Mandarin.
And I genuinely believe that he loves this role, so and again, it's hard for me to hate on something when I know that the person that's playing the role wants to do it. This isn't just a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, I think he enjoys what he's doing. So that makes it a little different. It's going to be goofy, but I think it's going to very much tie into what he did. Hey, there we go. There's Cal.
That's your kid.
Yep, that's my kid.
That's his
Planet
costume.
Comics. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it was. It's. I don't know. It could be fun. You're gonna have to watch it for what it is. It's gonna be a lot of slapstick comedy, I believe. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I watch everything DC puts out, so I'm gonna.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Is it something that I need? No. Is he a character that I enjoyed in the Suicide Squad? Not really. Like, there were moments, I'll admit, but that type of humor, and I think it's probably just a James Gunn thing, just doesn't. And I enjoyed the Suicide Squad overall. Surprisingly, I didn't think I was going to. But he was one of the grating elements to it that just rubbed me the wrong way. But and this trailer just seemed kind of more the same. And somebody else mentioned this, like, if it was, I think it was Jamie over at Holy Batcast that said, if it was like an hour-and-a-half movie, that'd be one thing. It'd be over in an hour and a half, and whatever. But like 8 episodes or however long it's going to be is like a long time to kind of pull this shtick. So
I don't know. I kind of feel like it could end up having a very similar tone and feel to what Doom Patrol is doing right now, and they're rocking on season 3 right now and killing it. Like, it's so I don't know. Like I said, it's just so irreverent, and
well, that's not necessarily the problem that I have. I love The Boys. I think it's irreverent, but I think it works. I think it's as far as it's not like dick jokes and butt humor and stuff like it's not like middle school humor. And I'm not kind of trying to it's just not my style of comedy. Like when I was in middle school, I like that kind of comedy. I loved Adam Sandler movies and things of that sort. But now going back and watching them, a lot of that comedy doesn't work for me anymore. But so it's just something that's I'm not like. I like the Eagle. I like the Eagles riding the car.
Eagerly.
I like the video. I don't think it was it. I don't know if it was in that trailer. It was something that they posted on Twitter, but I saw a clip of the Eagle hugging him in the garage. Did you see that clip?
It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer.
I thought that was funny. And I love that Robert Patrick is the dad. Big T1000 fan personally. T2, one of my favorite movies ever. So good to see him in something.
I think as long as they treat it for what it is, I think it'll be fine. You know what I mean? As long as they're not trying to make this into something that it's not. I know James Gunn, he really does pack a lot of heart into his movies, as far as, and still manages to have a lot of humor in them. But that's not who Peacemaker is. Not from what we saw in the Suicide Squad anyway, so.
I just, with James Gunn, I've come to the realization, and and I'm content with it. I'm not. His jokes aren't going to land for me most of the time. Sometimes they will, but most of the time they're not. But I do think he's a good filmmaker. I think that he can. He's a good writer, and he can handle himself behind the camera. And
I admire I admire the way that he does things. Like I said, he builds the soundtrack before he puts anything on paper. You know what I mean? And that's really cool. That's a different take on things. But it's like I said, it's Peace. Like you said, Peacemaker is not a show that I don't think anybody was really asking for, but I think it'll be just fine. You know,
Out
it
of the
may not be for
characters
everybody.
in the Suicide Squad that you
Mhm.
could do a spin-off show, this is the last one that I would want
Well,
to see.
I think that John Cena, don't get me wrong, I think he's a big name actor, but given the others, and especially since you killed off several of the other characters, he's really the only one that you were probably going to be able to get a TV show out of, you know.
No, I mean, believe me.
So I think that's why they went. I think that's the only reason that they, you know, decided to do a Peacemaker show. And I could be wrong. Gunn could have wanted it from the get go. I don't know.
He would probably say that he did, but that's Hollywood speak.
I think if Bloodsport, I think if we could have got a Bloodsport show, I think that's what
I would have
what he would have done.
Yeah, I would love seeing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have rather had a Weasel show rather than a Peacemaker show.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming. I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's just me.
All right. Anyway, we spent enough time on that jackass.
Yeah, I agree. Your kid, your poor.
I gotta watch him. I gotta watch him walk around and pick up candy for like the next week at all these different things. So,
all right. Well, speaking of kids, did you see the DC League of Super Pets little teaser that they put out?
I actually did not. So you're gonna have to tell me about this one.
All right.
Cal has seen it, but I have not had a chance.
Okay. Well, it's pretty brief. I mean, it's very much it's like one of those, like, I don't even know if it's a teaser. It's I don't really know how you describe it. It's like one of those like little like brief clips that they put those, you know, it's one of those brief clips they put in front of movies. Oh, a teaser?
A teaser.
Yeah. Okay, maybe it's a teaser.
It's like a clip of a scene, I guess. You know,
not even that. It's something that like it's something that's I don't think will be in the movie. It's like created specifically for this purpose of like saying, "Hey, we're making this," kind of thing.
Gotcha.
It shows Crypto. It shows Ace the Bat Hound, and a few others that I didn't recognize. But so you get a little bit of back and forth between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart.
But I will say that does have a very Henry Cavill.
Oh, you're looking hard, aren't you?
It's all connected, man. It's all connected.
Don't do that to yourself, Alan. That would be the one that they choose to tie into the Snyderverse.
Let's have an animated Henry Cavill.
I mean, I'm excited for this on the level I'm excited to watch this with my family, you know, watch it with my daughter. And hopefully it'll be fun. I mean, it's got a good cast. I just you know, I've never read or watched anything about. I know about Crypto and Ace the Bat Hound, but that's like the only ones that I know about, just like on a very surface level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be good. I don't know the studio. I guess it's just WB Animation. Assume it is. I don't know. I think the latest thing that they've put out would be the Scoob movie, which was not that great. It was okay, I guess.
Yeah, and that was one I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's one of those I just kind of enjoy it for what it is. I'm not going into it, you know, expecting a lot, but same thing with Scooby-Doo, you know, or Scoob or whatever it was called. Yeah.
Scoob.
I like that they were trying to build a bigger Hanna-Barbera universe out of that. I'm not trying to go off on a whole nother rabbit hole here, but
yeah, everybody's got to get a universe now.
Yeah.
You know.
But like you said, I think that a lot of the stuff that Warner Brothers, it seems like the path that they're taking for the most part is probably not going to be as many kid-friendly projects, you know?
Yeah. Well, this kind of falls.
This is going to be one of those
categories, like the Aquaman, was it King of Atlantis or whatever it's called? Animated thing. It's like that one more so seemingly towards like smaller kids. This one a little bit older kids. And then they have the what is the Cars one that they're doing with the animated like Batmobile and
I don't remember. Cal told me about it too. That was another one that I missed while we were getting ready.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's good though. I mean, it shouldn't all be for adults, you know?
yeah, I guess whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, looking forward to that one.
Mhm,
All right, let's talk about some video games real quick, and then we'll get on to the Batman.
Okay.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Did you watch this one?
I did. I did.
So this was still another cinematic trailer. I'm very interested. There you go. And
Bat Wheels. Thanks, Ann.
Ann would know.
Ann,
Yeah,
were you responsible
she
for
was
the?
definitely
Or were you responsible for Bat Wheels?
She had that. Check out the big brain on Ann. The Bat Wheels show. She's very proud of it. Yeah, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is another, more of a, I guess, what would you call it? What did I say? Cutscene type. It's more of a. It's not. There's no gameplay. I'm interested to see because I don't know what the gameplay element to this game is going to be in terms of like, can you like switch between character to character, kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5 was.
Or is it going to be like a Telltale Games kind of thing where you only can be that one character in that one scene?
Yeah. And wasn't in the Marvel Avengers game that came out not too long ago, I think you could switch between characters in some missions.
Yeah, you could switch on that. Yeah. I never played it. Cal did, but I didn't play that one.
Gotcha. This looks good. I love Rocksteady. I mean, the fact that this is set in the Arkham verse, I think I may have said this before, is interesting when compared to Gotham Knights. Like Gotham Knights seems like the one you would assume is set in that universe, but it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like everything that I've seen. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting. It's playing as the Suicide Squad going after the Justice League and what that actually is around why Waller is trying to keep, and the girl that playing Waller. I think she's a Mad TV vet. She was recently in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. She was one of the Jedi in that. She's like a mentor to the character Cal in that game. So yeah, she's really great. But yeah, she's in this. She's playing Amanda Waller, and so I think she's a good fit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. But yeah, the gameplay. I'm just anxious to see gameplay to see how it all kind of comes together. It reminds me a lot of what was that? There was a game that was on Xbox One. I can't remember.
We didn't have Xboxes in this house. So
something override. I can't remember.
Overwatch.
It doesn't.
Overwatch.
No. It was. Anyway, it reminded me. Had this like kind of like very, at least the way that this trailer is kind of put together, as far as this like team back and forth kinetic nature. It reminded me a lot of that. But yeah, we'll see. I know they have. It was cool to see like Arkham from those games pop up.
Yeah, that was neat.
Tying all that together, and obviously we saw the Superman connection in the trailer from last year. That reveal. Now I will say this: King Shark not as cute.
No,
but
he's kind of ugly in this one.
It was kind of funny though how they were the Penguin. They were kind of they kept hitting Waller to shock him.
That was me and Cal sat there and just laughed at that. That was awesome. That seems like something that they would. That's what.
Yeah.
That I like that take on the characters. Yeah. And I haven't played many of the hero related games in a while. The boys played both the Spider-Mans. I didn't really get into them, but I played almost all of the Arkham games. So I'm excited to jump back in. I think I'm gonna get this one for sure.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love all the Arkham games, even Arkham Origins. I think it's super underrated. A lot of people don't give it the credit that it deserves. I think people, I mean, people have their reasoning, but I feel like a lot of people were turned off by the existence, A, because Rocksteady wasn't doing it and WB Montreal were doing it, and B, you didn't have Mark Hamill playing the Joker, and you didn't have Kevin Conroy playing Batman. But I thought Troy Baker did a great impersonation of Mark Hamill doing the Joker. I thought he did a solid. And then I can't remember the guy that did Batman. I thought he did pretty good too.
Yeah. And it was more, I mean,
the story was good.
That's what I was going to say. The story was great, and the gameplay was good.
Gameplay was the exact same gameplay.
So yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Having Hamill and my mind just went blank. We were just Kevin Conroy. Having those guys in there for that continuity from the animated series and everything, that was really cool. But
yeah,
the games were no different to me, other than a slight difference in voices, but it wasn't that bad.
Indeed. All right, sorry, pulled the wrong image. All right, and then one last thing before we get on the Batman. That is Gotham Knights. Last year we got a brief cinematic trailer, and then they showed gameplay. This year, no gameplay, just cinematic trailer. Yeah. And then, I guess last year they had the quarter vowels kind of reveal at the end, and now they kind of this one they kind of showed a lot more of that. Again, another 4-player, seemingly co-op type game.
Oh yeah.
Those are the types of games that I gravitate towards. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games anymore, but like a good co-op, especially like an online co-op game that I don't have to like split screen. That's my jam. That's what I love. And then obviously something set in the Gotham verse.
Yeah.
Is right up my alley. So I'm excited for this. But yeah, it's just strange to me that this one isn't set. But maybe it's because they just wanted to be free from that whole narrative. They're killing, Bruce Wayne is apparently dead at the beginning of this. And then there's probably some underlying, obviously some tying in the Court of Owls stuff. Yeah. I mean, it looked, as far as the gameplay from last year, it looked kind of in keeping with the Arkham stuff, which is why it's just kind of strange that it's not. But we'll say, if I had to complain about anything with like character designs, I don't like the Robin suit. The other suits I dig.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that Robin suit, I don't know if it's like the little tail that he has, and
it looks very Damian Wayne, from like when he came in. I know you're not a huge fan of the animated stuff, but when he came in, Son of Batman and stuff like that, like it looks very similar to that. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar in the Injustice 2 game, which I'm just not. Yeah,
it looks like that's a broom on his shoulders. It's a broom. He's going to go play Quidditch. That's what he's going to do. He's a beater. There we go. There we go.
That's a great call, Nani. Great call. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't look up release dates because release dates don't matter when it comes to video games because they always get pushed. And now movies are the same thing. They're on the same trajectory. Just push them. All right. Let's talk about the man of the hour, the Batman. I wish Ryan was here.
Yeah.
Ryan's
he's probably not in a good mood right now. I just looked up the Brave score.
Oh, really?
That's a big no-go. You might not wish he was here.
That's what he gets. That's what he gets. You picked the wrong team. The team you should have picked was CAPECAST. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, you picked it. You know. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you lead with this one. What do you think about this trailer?
Man, dude, this was worth Fandome for me. Like, this trailer was really good. Like I said, I'm still not a huge fan of the suit. I did like that we got to see some of the tactical advantages of this suit, in the trailer. He's just, casually strolling down the hallway, getting blasted with machine guns. What you would have expected from the Black Adam trailer. But it just, I don't know. What's hilarious is, with the exception of maybe George Clooney, I don't think anybody has really been crazy about any of the casting of any of the Batman, the Batman characters throughout, starting with Keaton, who was only known for, comedic roles primarily before he was in the original Batman. And then I was not a fan of Ben Affleck's casting initially, or Val Kilmer or anybody else's. So in that same vein, like, I just was not crazy about Robert Pattinson, and I have been proven wrong in the trailers anyway. Like, it's not anything against him. I just couldn't see him as that role, but it's, this is an excellent cut for a trailer. Like, this is, I am very much looking forward to this movie.
Cool. Yeah. I thought this was a good trailer. I'm very indifferent about this movie in general, just because of the suit. I texted this to Ryan, I think Al as well. This suit is going to ruin this movie for me. I can't get past just how it just doesn't mesh as a, like, there's so many different, like, aesthetics going on in this suit, and my only, like, silver lining with it is maybe there's story reason for it. Like, he's, like, kind of making this hodgepodge, like, just putting this suit together with what the resources that he has.
Yeah, like him and Alfred are building this one. He doesn't have Lucius Fox, or whatever. Yeah,
and I'll accept that. I mean, I don't like it, but I'll accept it if it's a story driven reason.
Yep.
Another reason that I'm hung up on this movie is, this was from the get-go. I've had time to deal with this, which is, we already had a grounded Batman series of movies. I really wanted them to do the opposite. Kind of what, I mean, obviously I'm biased to the Affleck version, and they've established the metahuman element and all. Like, you could have done so much more than having to pick stories that you can do in a grounded universe like they're having to do now with this one, which is not, I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be great, because it looks great. I'm saying that we've already seen a trilogy of movies that were that same thing, and this seems to be even more grounded than the Nolan ones were. Again, not a bad thing, but just in terms of timing, it's like, we just did this.
I see what
so but that all aside, I thought the trailer was great. I love the tone. I love the cinematography. Again, I just wish that Catwoman looked like Catwoman. I wish that Riddler looked like Riddler. But I understand that if you're doing this, like, David Fincher-esque Seven, like The Game, like Zodiac, whatever, then you need to have it this kind of aesthetic. So it makes sense. So I'm not, like, knocking it for that. It is what it needs to be for what they're wanting to do. And so that's just my own hold up. I got to get over that. But it's very hard for me to get over this suit. But I thought the trailer was great. And if I'm gonna be honest, I liked last year's trailer better in terms of an actual, like, start to finish, well cut trailer. I thought it this trailer had a little bit of like, and it mainly comes with like the music choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like it was a little all over the place with how it kind of cut the music throughout the trailer.
Yeah.
Whereas that trailer from last year was just like, it was like perfect in terms of like pairing that Nirvana, Something in the Way, with Giacchino's score, layering on top of it. It was just like, it was very concise, very intentional. And I think it kind of hit like it kind of had a really good like build up and crescendo to it. Whereas this one kind of had like peaks and valleys. It was more of a casual audience trailer to me than last year's. Like this is last year's trailer was more of like, you know, an art school trailer. This was more like mainstream, but yeah, I thought it was good. I think the character that I'm probably most interested in seeing in this movie is going to be a toss-up between Penguin and Riddler. The Penguin, because I'm really curious to see, I mean, underneath all this prosthetic with Colin Farrell, I'm really curious to see what this performance is. But then on the Paul Dano side, I freaking love Paul Dano. I love everything he's in. He's an amazing actor. And he's, for this type of role, like he shines in, and I can't wait to see what they've done with him. So those are the two. I'm more excited for that than I am about Pattinson as Batman. And I think Pattinson's going to do good. I think
I do too.
He'll be good as Batman. I honestly never had a hang up with his casting. He is a little more wiry as far as his build.
Yeah, it was just a little out of his wheelhouse from his previous roles. It was a little, you know what I mean? It was a little out of his wheelhouse, you know, but I was also,
as far as acting, I'd seen Good Time. I haven't seen any of the Twilight stuff besides it like flipping through the channels and it being on TNT or whatever. Or seeing like the ones where they like
bad lip reading. The bad lip reading. The bad lip reading.
Yeah.
You slapped the fish. Yeah.
You slapped the fish. I wanted some seafood. Those are great. But yeah. I'm excited though. I'm excited for this movie. I love Matt Reeves as a director. From Cloverfield to the Apes movies. I didn't see is it? Let Me In. Is that the horror movie that he did?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
The right one. I can't remember what it's called.
It's Let Me In. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, excited for this. And then that shot that it ends on, which is this shot that I pulled for this deal. It's a great shot. Yeah. It's a great great little POV shot from Penguin's perspective. Yeah. And the music, I'm loving the score too. I mean, it's a pretty simple score. It's like 2 notes, but
but it works, man. It's like it's so ominous and menacing all at the same time. Like, I mean, it's very Batman. I'll say that. I do like it.
A little. I mean, if I'm honest, a little similar to Affleck's theme in BVS as far as note structure. Like it's pretty similar, but maybe that's why I like it. I don't know.
Hey, if it ain't,
I like Giacchino. I mean, he's a great composer, so I'm excited to see what he's done throughout. So, anything else you want to add? I mean, we get our first look at Alfred. Seems like they're going a very similar, like similar to Jeremy Irons' Alfred, like a kind of a military-esque type, active Alfred that helps out.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that take. I know, the early comics all the way through to the mid 90s, that was kind of, the traditional butler type Alfred, he might have sewed up some wounds and things like that, but it was pretty much, taking care of whatever Bruce needed as far as house and things like that. But he, they really kind of changed that up, and I'm glad that they did. They really went with the whole, Queen's Army, kind of thing, the Royal Secret Service and all that. I'm excited. I hope that they continue that. I like that.
Yeah, there's also that shot, that top-down shot of Batman with a torch, seemingly leading maybe police officers or or the goons, like skull-looking goons, and maybe those. That may be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I know I'm not the first person to draw this conclusion, but that kind of like Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns, where he has the fight with the mutant guy or whatever, with all the other mutant gang people around.
Yeah,
it seemed. I don't think they're doing that story element, but it seemed reminiscent because he's like,
and it could, it could be that element of that story, not the whole story.
Oh, yeah,
It could be that. I mean, it could be beating the piss out of somebody just to prove a point, like that you don't. And that could have been, where he's, I'm vengeance, and just continues to wail on the guy in the first trailer. That could have been that lead in to that point, and and then after that, the goons know, when the light's shining, you better
or they
watch your P's and
Q's. They kind of get recruited. Like, what do they call him in the Son of the Batman or whatever?
The Sons of Batman. It was after,
I mean, that's the cool thing about movies is you can pull inspiration from, you don't have to like completely adapt one thing. And I'm pretty sure it's been said by Reeves that he's looked at like Long Halloween and Year One and other things to kind of
there's a lot of Year One in it. You can see that just from the small trailers that we've seen so far, which is a good storyline. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that as well. So
indeed. Do you have any other takeaways from DC Fandome? I kind of hit the high points. I mean, there were obviously other little small. They had Blue Beetle stuff, and they had
the Blue Beetle stuff really didn't amount to much. I do like that they went with the I do like that they're going more. I'm trying to like they're trying to layer in more ethnicity, different groups into the characters that have also been the characters. They're not like forcefully changing characters. They're actually doing it as it was in the comics. So that's really cool. So I enjoyed some of that stuff. So I'm interested. Blue Beetle is actually one that interests me a lot. So
my only association with him is in the Injustice 2 game, but
it was I liked him in the Young Justice series. So
yeah, I didn't watch that.
But yeah,
well,
that's
and I guess speaking of. Well, I guess other things they hit on. I know they like the TV stuff. I don't really watch any of the TV stuff that's on right now. I know that you do to a degree. I
actually have not watched. Legends of Tomorrow was actually like my favorite, and just because it was kind of along that same vein, it knew what it was. There you go, Nani G. She knows what's up with the Blue Beetle. I didn't really keep up with much of it. I know that they debuted the gold boots for Grant Gustin, and
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate
suit
that
still looks like pajamas.
I know, but I just hate the fact that they made it seem like he had to work for the boots. Like, I don't get that. Why did it take him 8 years to get them? It just doesn't make any sense.
That interview with him, he just seemed like, I'm so done with this show. Like, he just was so unenthusiastic.
I know. And that sucks because I actually really enjoyed his casting. I did like his take on Barry Allen.
He seems, he seems good for the part. And I watched most of the first season. It's just those shows. I just can't, like the CW. I think it's a lot to do with, well, it's on a network that's geared towards a younger audience, and it's also super low budget in comparison. So it's just not for me.
Yeah, and I like I said, I tried to keep up with anything DC related. I may not watch as many of the Marvel projects, but anything DC puts out, I've really tried to watch it, just because that's who I am. But I haven't watched the whole last season and a half of anything, except I did watch Superman and Lois. I did watch season 1 of that, and I enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was actually really good.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of
and
that
plus,
stuff.
plus Titans and everything else. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of things that you have been watching, you said that you watched Young Justice.
Yes, I
and
did.
I assume this is the one that you watched, Phantoms, the new one.
Yeah, season 4.
You said Young Justice when I asked you, and I was like, I guess it's the new one. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. The first 2 episodes just dropped on HBO Max. So,
Gotcha. Well,
yeah, I've watched them.
How were they?
They were good. A little slow developing, but I mean, there's a time jump. There has been after every season, like they age, like years in between. So they call it Young Justice. They're all adults now, pretty much. Most of the Titans, I guess you'd call them. Superboy and
Don't
Miss
call
Martian.
me Superboy.
They're
always think of that Max Landis thing.
Superboy and Miss Martian, they're getting married, are engaged to be married at the beginning of season 4. So it's not really a spoiler, but they are bringing in the Legion of Superheroes. There you go, sort of Young Justice, like Nani said. There you go.
Yeah, Old Justice.
Yeah, they're legal drinking age justice. There we go. We'll go with that. But I loved the first 3 seasons. I love the fact that we got a season 3 at all, because season 1 and 2, that was some of the best DC animation that was really well written. That it kept you emotionally invested in the characters. Like it was really ahead of its time. I think had it came out, in the past 2 or 3 years, we'd be on season 5 right now. It kind of had a cult following, kind of like the Snyder Cut did, and it kind of got revived because of that. So
continue Young Justice. Is that what it was? Is that the campaign?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Cool.
That was it. But yeah, I mean, slow going. Got some new characters to introduce and things like that. So
how many episodes per season?
I'm actually not sure the episode total. I just know that they dropped the first 2 after Fandome.
Are they doing it weekly? Or are they doing like
it'll be on Thursday. It'll be on Thursdays, just like all of their other DC content. So gotcha. Titans, Doom Patrol, and now Young Justice.
Word. Well, speaking of Titans, said you're watching more Titans.
I am. It's I don't know. This current story is kind of wearing on me. I loved it, and don't get me wrong, there were parts of it that
Justice Babies.
There are parts of the show that are really good. I do enjoy some of the actors. I think that the casting choices were really well done in the show, but and some of the storylines are neat. Raven's storyline in it, or Rachel, has been really cool, and Dick Grayson.
Do they not call her Raven?
No, not really. She pretty much just goes by Rachel. But you've seen a Raven. You've seen Rachel. We have a friend named Rachel, and that's every time we see her. She works at a restaurant downtown, and she'll come up, she'll walk by our table, and I'll go, Rachel.
It's funny. I used to work at Best Buy, and Batman Begins was on the tech demo little TV and surround sound thing that we had in the middle of the store. Every day it would play, 4 or 5 times a day. And it seemed like I would always be around when that scene, the Rachel scene would happen. It was like clockwork. For whatever reason, awesome. I would end up in that area. Anyway, so a little indifferent on Titans.
Yeah, the last couple of episodes have not I don't know. They hadn't felt as strong to me. I know that Ryan's not been a huge fan of the writing in general, but it's been enough to overlook because the story's been pretty good. But it's Scarecrow is the main villain this season, and I don't know. He's not the way that he was written. He's not a strong enough. He just doesn't seem like a strong enough villain to carry a season. Now, you had Deathstroke last season, you know what I mean? And then you come in with a pothead Scarecrow in season 4. You know, or season 3. So it just I don't know. It's
I've
falling
only
a little
watched the
flat.
pilot of Titans.
Oh,
and
like season 1, like the pilot. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that the production value picked up leaps and bounds on season 3, but it's, I don't know. Like I said, I watch anything DC puts out because I wanted to keep putting stuff out. So
that's why I stuck with Gotham as long as I did. And I didn't finish it, but I was like, I should support this. I like Batman.
I went back and finished it.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much.
No. I think I was in season 2 or 3. Is whenever they started introducing Firefly.
Oh, Jesus. I watched all the way to like, I don't know, season 6, I think. I watched pretty close to the end, you know, and just kind of faded out.
I never said I made it to the end or even close. I said I watched some of it.
You just made it seem like you were so loyal, you know. Like,
loyal enough to watch 2 seasons. I mean, this is network TV we're talking about.
It really was. They took some serious liberties with that show. I mean, like that's like, woo, yeah. But yeah, that and Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is the best thing that DC has put out TV wise, and it's leaps and bounds better than anything else they've got going on right now.
I keep hearing you talk highly of it.
It's definitely not a kid show. You do not want Luna anywhere close to the room where you're watching it at.
I've seen some clips.
Like Deadpool ain't got nothing on the F-bombs that are flying out of this show. But I love the fact that they know who they are, and they know that, I mean, they can literally do anything they want with this show. And if you haven't had a chance, go check out the Squadcast. They did a review of season 1, like almost a spoiler-free review of season 1. And I mean, I've already seen season 1, and it kind of got me hooked, you know, like to go back and watch it again. They did a good job. Setting the stage for people that are on the fence about watching it. So nice. It is really good though. I love Brandon Fraser. So
I do too. I'm glad that he's working again.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm interested in Doom Patrol. It's just a matter of, it's what, 2 seasons?
This is season 3 right now.
Okay.
Season 1 was solely on DC online streaming service, right. And then season 2 was streamed on both HBO Max and, you know, I don't even remember the DC Universe. And then this one, you know, season 3 is current. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's good. It's good stuff, man.
That's cool, Alan. I'm glad you're watching stuff. I haven't watched anything. I still got to get back on Foundation. I still haven't finished Squid Game. But I'm like maybe 1 or 2 episodes left on Squid Game.
Man.
I just gotta find time.
Yeah. There's not enough time.
There isn't.
But I haven't watched Foundation yet either. I have not jumped into that one. We're currently watching Mythic Quest. So
I tried to start that.
It's a little slow going. It's kind of like Office season 1. Like it's pretty slow.
I mean, on paper, it should be something that I should be into.
You should definitely enjoy it. Yeah,
and especially with Rob McElhenney being behind it. You know, I love Always Sunny. I watch it every single day. So I watched I don't even know if I finished the pilot.
Oh wow.
But man, it's got Cricket in it.
Yeah.
not being Cricket, which I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to
Yeah.
see him being a normal person. But yeah. So anyway, I haven't watched anything, not anything geek related, at least. Did you get any physical media or anything?
Like I said, Cal and I went today and picked up. I don't know if I know there's a glare on the screen. There it is.
Boom.
Suicide Squad 28. Picked it up today, and we picked up Suicide Squad, the future state, as well. It's got another cool shot of his helmet. You can see the reflection of the other characters in it. I told him that if we found anything with Peacemaker on it, we'd buy it. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just feeding into this obsession that he has with a douchebag. So and I bought Zack Snyder's Justice League on 4K. I've been waiting on the steel jacket, but I just the price was I had to get it. I
saw Walmart is going to have it for $10 on Black Friday.
Wow. I like I told you guys in the text, I used my credit card points and I got it for $5. So,
nice.
I mean, I kind of had to get it. You know, I'm still holding out hope that all these ships floating off the coast from China are going to come in and I'm going to get that steel book because I'm hoping it's on one of those crates. But that won't ever get opened, I don't guess, unless I just want to look at the artwork. But
yeah.
I'll get it when I get it.
I hear you. Yeah, well, so do you have the Justice League Blu-ray around, or I mean, you don't have to show up.
No, it's downstairs. It's downstairs. Everybody knows what it looks like.
Just the regular 4K Blu-ray.
I don't want to show that one. Ryan doesn't like the way the cover looks anyway, so I don't want to show that.
Well, he's got that one.
I know.
I told him he can make some custom artwork for it.
Please send it my way. But
all you got to do really is just take any of the 3 posters that Snyder put out when they announced the release date and use one of those.
I mean, they used it for the discs themselves.
Yeah.
Why I just don't.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't know that one's a mystery to me. Just doesn't
personally,
seem like.
I hate that they used Jim Lee's artwork for the Justice League steelbook. Yeah. I wish to God we could have got that for Zack Snyder's Justice League. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they needed to separate it, but I mean, any of that, even that like Alex Ross inspired poster. Anne's back. What's going on, Anne? Yes, that's correct. It was a snooze fest.
She ain't lying.
Well, I mean, at least you can admit it.
You made it.
You ought to know you made it.
That's it though. That's the only thing else I bought. I believe. Like I said, I should have really brought Cal's helmet up here and showed it off or whatever, but his beacon of freedom that he'll wear for Halloween. You know, he was really hoping at the comic book shop that somebody would have asked him why he was wearing a chrome toilet seat on his head. He'd been prepping it. He's waiting on somebody to ask him so he can say it's a beacon of freedom. He's ready for it.
How does
because
he know?
I've told him, and he watches these little tiny clips, you know. So
you're going in and out. I'm trying to fix my headphones where I can hear you in both of my ears, but it's my headphones.
Okay, I was just going to say, well, I know it's not. This is just for for me. I was making sure it wasn't my big microphone over here, but I don't have it like hanging out in front of me like Al, but it's there.
Yeah,
it's over there. Not as cool as Al.
Guess what? I am your manager, B. Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
It's been a long. We didn't even get to any of the other news.
Nothing. No Marvel stuff needed. I mean, we had a whole.
And we had some. There was some Marvel stuff. We'll get to it next week because I imagine DC is going to be slow.
Yeah, that was it. Fandome.
Marvel.
Tap
Marvel
and
just
drop.
had Eternals screenings, and there's going to be stuff dropping.
Yep.
Yeah, the Marvel stuff goes. They always have so much exciting things to talk about.
Even Marvel's dropping Superman. In their movies.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They know it works.
I know.
Maybe you can get a job over there with those guys, and
or at least an internship. Figure out what's going on.
Internship sounds about right for you, Ann. Be a non-paid internship.
There we go.
It's perfect. All right, let's. What I saw a comment come through. Oh, she's trying. She's trying. Do your best. Do your best, Ann. All right, let's get out of here. Let me get. All right, let me tell you where you can find us. Once again, you can hit us up on Twitter at CapeCast Show. Everything else that's on the CiNEMACHiNE Network, you can find at CiNEMACHiNEPod.com. Obviously, you're here on YouTube. You can subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you know when we're going live, whether it's CapeCast, CiNEMACHiNE, Criterion Corner. And also hit up the CiNEMACHiNE channels on socials. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we have a Patreon. So if you feel so kind to give us some dollars, we will gladly accept those dollars. And you can find that at CiNEMACHiNE Pod as well. But for myself, for Alan, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the CiNEMACHiNE.
See you.